That's a half a person, and that one is as well.
You can't recall names and places.
Nor can I recall the names of people or places. I mean, I don't know what your name is. I can just recall the name Will because I meet him regularly. So that one's that I now know. And I can usually remember the name of Victoria, for instance. And I can still remember the name of Nick. But it's weird the way when I see people I recognise them. I mean, this is what I was suggesting we might be able to do. Yeah. Over the last 8 years, my brain has been steadily dissolving. The effect was eventually diagnosed as progressive aphasia, and the major transformation has been the loss of words. Although I've got all these thousands of things, I can't now read them. I can't understand things because I don't know the language. So in order to speak things, I have to rediscover them and write it all down.
You know what you're wanting to communicate.
Well, I carefully decided on these things, and I gradually changed the words that I'd put until it sounded okay. That was a nice picture of me and Victoria and of our children. And this was when I was performing things that I'd created. In the past, I'd actually been working over the years as an expert on English language. So in 1985, I was appointed as the English advisor for Devon, along with my gorgeous wife, Victoria, comes in here, together with our lovely children. I look at this picture all the time. Whenever I see my children, it's just so pleasurable.
Can you talk about who they are?
Well, I'd have to try and remember what their names are. In those days, I was also producing a number of books on behalf of Oxford University Press and so on. And I'd also been creating and organising a variety of plays. Sing Cuckoo, Tales from Kites Hill. However, I cannot now understand the wording of books or plays, including my own versions.
If you were to pick up that book now, Nick.
One of these?
Yeah.
I can't read it. I can't understand it. Actually, the pictures that I most like looking at are the pictures of art. So I can be looking at these things. What I've always liked looking at was ancient pictures. I don't recall these things in the way that I used to. Sometimes come through to me. But it's this other side of the brain that is less damaged. So because I'm still capable of perceiving things, I get happily absorbed in jigsaws. I don't know whether it's worth including me doing these sorts of things. So I thought I might provide it for you to...
Yes, I think you should. Do you want to take a few bits out then?
Yeah, okay. Just put them somewhere where I can see them. Off I go then. It wouldn't be a big thing, but just an image of sticking things in would be quite...
We've done that.
Okay. And another of the things I can still do is drawing. That was something I'd only done before when I was a youngster. What I've now been creating is a collection of misericords. Pick up a random version of that. When I say misericords, a lot of people are not sure what it means initially.
And it's a word I've only heard from you.
That's right. These fascinating misericord things were an ancient form of wood carving situated around the choir stalls of medieval churches.
Is that roughly the same size?
Exactly the same size of how these things are. And they're always down on the bottom underneath one of those things.
Are there any there?
Well, they're all along there, you see, and along that side as well.
Unless somebody says, oh, look under the seat.
Yeah.
You won't know they're there, will you, at all?
This is one of the famous ones.
He's saddled up like a horse, isn't he?
There are things which are a combination of people and creatures. Yeah. When I was saying various selection of pictures, it could just be a series of these things rather than a picture of me. Misericord is one of the words that I constantly remember, because I've been using it for the last year and a half, Well, this is one of the ones that I've got in my picture. They don't come through very clearly. Drawing them makes them a lot more visible. So that's much more visible than that, for instance. And I choose the ones that I find really interesting. I didn't think that these would be good things to be using for your pictures.
It's showing your planning, the way you've thought about stuff and where things should go on the page.
This is not a good thing because it's not going to be visually very impressive. That's how I finally did it. Looks a lot better on that, doesn't it? Yep, that's good. The first English version of misericords was constructed in Exeter Cathedral. That's the Exeter Cathedral one. In the 13th century. Then other versions were created all around the country over the next 300 years. They're slightly different from the originals. That's one of these things. Although there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these things beside that one. I just put 2 there because it makes it possible to do that.
These drawings very much link the person that Nick is now with the person he was before.
Exhibition of work by local artists. That was one of the first things that I was doing something like this. But then I had so many other things to do that I just didn't start to do these again.
Anybody who knew Nick before would look at some of these creatures and people and say, oh, that's exactly what Nick would have always found humorous, or that's exactly what Nick would have written about in stories when he wrote his plays. Do you think that's me hitting you? Is that me attacking you?
They're constantly trying to modify the behaviour of their husband.
Because they can't let go of the previous person. Yeah.
So it's conflict all the time because they're
Which
saying,
is
don't
so
do
sad.
that, do this.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just...
Which is so sad.
How she copes with me.
Yeah.
Oh, she does everything. Yeah.
Whereas you see, I live with a man who saw a Christmas tree for the first time last year. What's not to like about that? He's in a state of sheer delight because he says to me, what is this beautiful thing? He's never seen it before. I mean, it's magic.
It's a nice collection of things here, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm just going to add the last couple of bits. So at the start of last year, I began to draw this series of misericords, choosing in each case the most fascinating selection. This form of drawing hadn't been done before by other artists.
Dean of the Cathedral.
So when I provide copies to the chosen churches, the local organisers have been thrilled.
It is, it's beautiful.
By the new picture of their misericords.
They will be used by the education department, I'm quite sure.
Oh, yeah.
Good, well, thank you very much. Really good to meet you.
It's been one of the final things I've been still able to do. I see so many people that know me, people who've worked with me in the past. And,
we worked together for many years. We used to share offices at one time. Daisy, Devon Arts in Schools Initiative. You and I set up Devon Arts in School Initiative with county councillors and governors. It was your idea and my idea, probably more your idea, but we used to share a file that was all the artists that were available to work in schools. That was 13 years ago, I think now. And now there's a big organisation doing a thing that you and I used to do on our desks, in a quiet moment. Yeah. But art is my
sorry
area.
that I can't remember
That's
people
okay.
now, but
Nick, it is perfectly all right. I'll see you in a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
The project he was just talking about that you...
nice thing now. Daisy was a thing I created. Yeah, that's right. Did he say that he was working in Daisy? Yeah.
The two of you put Daisy together.
Yes. Ah. Yes, that begins to come back to me now. Yeah. Yes, Oh, yeah, that's right.